The United States Geological Survey, USGS, said that a massive 6.8 magnitude earthquake slammed Morocco on Friday night, killing more than 600 people and damaging buildings in the historic city of Marrakech. This was the largest earthquake to strike that region of North Africa in more than a century. According to the USGS, the earthquake occurred in Morocco's high Atlas mountain range just after 11 p.m. local time at a depth of 18.5 kilometers, 11.4 miles, which is relatively shallow. The epicenter was located about 72 kilometers, 44.7 miles, southwest of Marrakech, a city with a population of about 840,000 and a well-liked tourist destination. According to state-run TV Al Aoula, which cited Morocco's Interior Ministry, at least 632 people were murdered and 329 others were injured, including 51 who were in serious condition. In numerous locations, many people spent the night on the streets out of dread of aftershocks as a desperate search for those buried in the wreckage began. Health officials also urged blood donations in order to aid the victims. Authorities claimed that the majority of fatalities happened in remote mountainous locations around the epicenter, and Al Aoula reported that rescue crews were having trouble getting to the worst affected areas because of damaged roads. The Royal Moroccan Armed Forces issued a warning to locals to closely monitor any subsequent shocks. The military posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, "We remind you of the need to exercise caution and take safety measures due to the risk of aftershocks." The quake on Friday night, according to the USGS, was exceptionally strong for that region of Morocco. Though rare, earthquakes of this size are not atypical in the area. There have only been 9 M5, magnitude 5, and greater earthquakes and no M6, magnitude 6, or larger earthquakes within 500 kilometers of this earthquake since 1900, according to the USGS. The U.S. agency noted that many residents in the area live in homes that are highly vulnerable to earthquake shaking, predicting that significant damage is likely and the disaster is potentially widespread. According to Montasir Itri, a local resident, the majority of the homes in the mountain town of Osni close to the epicenter were destroyed. He stated, "Our neighbors are under the rubble, and people are frantically trying to rescue them using available means in the village." According to Reuters, aftershocks from the first earthquake were also detected further west, close to Taraudant, where a local claimed to have escaped his home during the tremors. For around 20 seconds, the earth rocked. "As I hurried downstairs from the second story, doors opened and shut by themselves," teacher Hamid Afkar told Reuters. According to CNN researcher Benjamin Brown, who is on the ground in the old city of Marrakech, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, some locals were hurt as buildings and city walls were destroyed and partially fell. "It took a few seconds for everyone to comprehend what was happening," according to Brown, who was on his hotel's rooftop when the ground began to tremble. According to Brown, people first behaved calmly as they made their way outside the cramped alleyways to locate a safe spot. Many of them were still wearing their jammies. "It started a few minutes later, and shouting started. The panic truly started when it became clear how serious the wounds were," he claimed. "I witnessed numerous individuals being carried from their residences on stretchers or wrapped in carpets, some of whom had what seemed to be rather serious head injuries with significant amounts of blood." According to Brown, at least one ambulance had to turn away a wounded woman because it was already overflowing. The early 12th century red walls that enclose the old city center of Marrakech have also deteriorated in certain places, he continued. Videos and pictures depict a crowded scene in the city's open areas, such as squares and traffic roundabouts, with some individuals erecting makeshift mattresses to spend the night. According to local resident Idiwa Aziz Hassan, some homes in the city have collapsed, and as they waited for heavy machinery, individuals were moving debris by hand. Brahim Himi, a different Marrakech local, told Reuters that he observed ambulances leaving the old center and that several building facades were broken. People, he claimed, were terrified and waiting outside in case there was another earthquake. "I fled after the chandelier fell from the ceiling." Hoda Hafsi, a 43-year-old native of Marrakech, told Reuters, "I'm still in the road with my kids and we're afraid." Marrakech, a former imperial city with a nearly 1,000-year-old history, is jam-packed with palaces, mosques, gardens, and vibrant markets from the Middle Ages. The city's historic districts are enclosed by red earth walls and populated with buildings made of red sandstone, earning it the moniker, Red City. In 2019, Marrakech attracted approximately 3 million visitors before the COVID epidemic. In addition to being the fourth largest city in Morocco and a significant commercial hub, Marrakech has a rich cultural and historical background. Reuters reported that the city of Rabat, which is located 350 kilometers north of the high Atlas Mountains, also experienced shaking.